Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for following along with the Renaissance age of animation. This week we study Aladdin from 1992, along with our 7th grade designers who will be here in just a moment. So if you haven't already, go check out the Making of documentary. It's called A Diamond in the Rough, The Making of Aladdin. There are 3 main reasons that Aladdin is seen as a modern classic. 1 is the humor with the inclusion of celebrity voices. 2 is the music done by the same team that created hit songs for The Little Mermaid. And the 3rd reason is technical achievements in animation, especially with the innovation of computer-generated images. Stick around, the 7th graders are about to reveal their answers for the trivia, and you can see how you did as well. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome. We're going to begin our trivia, which is of course Aladdin, made in 1992, continuing on with the Renaissance era. Half of the group watched the first half of the documentary, because it was a really long one, right? An hour and 10 minutes. Another group watched the second half of the documentary. You guys are kind of gonna educate each other on the stuff that you missed. I'll start us off with the first question. In what year was the story Arabian Nights first translated?
1704.
Correct. 1704 was translated into other languages, and then it started to get interpreted all over the world.
In the original story, how many wishes does the genie give to Aladdin?
The question is, in the original story, how many wishes does the genie give to Aladdin? Brandon.
Originally, he is given an infinite amount of wishes.
Yeah, very good. Infinite amount of wishes. The first version of the Disney movie also had infinite wishes, but they wanted to simplify it, which is a good design strategy. All right, thank you, Brandon.
His character is described as sophisticated and suave.
Which character is described as smooth, sophisticated, and suave? Please type your answers in the chat. Sachi, go ahead.
Jafar.
Yeah, the correct answer is Jafar. And it was a pretty interesting contrast to another character.
Which character is described as gross, aggravating, and annoying?
Kira, go right ahead.
I forgot his name, the parrot.
The parrot is correct. Sachi, why don't you help her out and tell her the name of the parrot?
Iago?
Yeah, it's pronounced Iago, but it's with an I.
Who was chairman of Disney Studios during this time?
The chairman had a lot of say over what happened with the movie. They had to totally revamp the movie in order to get the chairman's approval. Brandon, go ahead.
Was it Michael Eisner?
Ooh, good guess. Michael Eisner wasn't the chairman at the time.
Jeffrey Katzenberg?
Yeah, the answer is Jeffrey Katzenberg. Now, he came from the world of filmmaking. When he looked at it, he had kind of like a Hollywood spin. What is going to make this a better movie, regardless of whether it was animation or not? All right, Sachi, what's our next question?
What's the first step of the animation process as demonstrated through a scene with Jasmine, Jabbar, and Iago?
Thank you. This was one of my favorite parts because it started with something that was very, very rough, and then it showed you all the way to the final animation. Let's see if we can get all 4 steps here. Sachi, go right ahead.
Storyboard, rough animation, cleanup animation, and final color.
Started with the storyboards, very similar to a comic strip. Then we see a rough animation. We see what it looks like when the pictures are actually moving. Then they clean it up and they add a rough background. Finally, they put in all the colors and the sound, and you can see the finished product. That's one of the most interesting things that I've seen in any of these Disney documentaries. The same scene shown 4 times over the course of making the animation.
After Black Friday, how long did it take to restructure Aladdin?
Thank you. There was a day called Black Friday. And on that day, they almost shut down the production because Jeffrey Katzenberg didn't like it. Kira has a guess. Kira, after Black Friday, how long did it take to restructure Aladdin?
I accidentally spelled days wrong, but 8 days.
8 days later, they repitched it to Jeffrey Katzenberg, and this time he accepted and they moved ahead.
Animators put up a sign saying, "When in doubt."
The sign said, "When in doubt, hurt the parrot."
When in doubt, hurt the parrot. The parrot was there for comic relief. And when they weren't sure what to do, they would put him in a situation where he got hurt. And that was part of the humor of the film.
Who was the supervising CGI animator on the film?
This is the first film to extensively use CGI, computer-generated images. And they did it for the carpet. Ariana, go ahead.
Lion King.
Good guess. He had a big part in lots of Disney movies, but he was not the CGI animator for Aladdin.
Steve Goldberg.
Yeah. He's right. It was Steve Goldberg, and he was talking all about animating the magic carpet using computers. All right, Gianfranco, pick another one for us.
What book does the genie read from?
The genie reads from a book. What was the name of that book?
The Book of Wish?
Very good guess, because he does grant wishes. Ariana.
Royal Recipes.
Royal Recipes is correct, turning Aladdin into royalty at that time.
Who voiced Abu?
Abu didn't really say words. Right? He was the monkey. He was kind of Aladdin's sidekick, but he still had a voice, kind of humorous noises. Luca has a guess. Luca, go right ahead.
Frank Welker.
Yes, he is correct. Frank Welker voiced the character of Abu.
Who said Aladdin was Disney's first buddy comedy? My guess is Andreas Deja.
Ooh, good guess. Gianfranco has a guess. Gianfranco, go ahead.
Eric Goldberg.
Eric Goldberg. Hint, he animated one of the two buddies in this buddy comedy.
What two things do the thick and thin lines style apply?
The thick and thin line style is usually something that is used in cartooning and comic strips, but now here it is used in Disney animation, which was pretty cool. Let's see if Ariana can give us the answer.
Weight and light.
Yeah, thank you. Weight, it implies that something weighs a lot. When it's got this thick and thin line style, meaning that it's thick in the middle and then it gets thin towards the points of the line. And then light, it implies that light is bouncing down onto it, creating a shadow underneath.
What song is used to demonstrate live action footage?
Luca, go right ahead.
A Whole New World.
Ooh, good guess. Definitely a classic from Aladdin, but it wasn't the one that they used to show live action footage.
The song One Jump Ahead.
Yeah, very good.
They hired like a bunch of different people to do all the movements of like the different people with the swords. They didn't necessarily like mimic exactly the scenery, but mostly like the motions.
To get an idea of, hey, what does this motion look like? And especially from all the different camera angles.
Who provided Jasmine's singing voice?
I said Leah Salonga.
Very good. Leah Salonga provided the singing voice.
Who provided Jasmine's speaking voice?
Ariana.
Linda Larkin.
Very good. Linda Larkin.
Which character was described as high spirit, powerful, and strong?
Annika.
Jasmine.
Yeah, Princess Jasmine was seen as powerful, strong, and having a lot of spirit.
Which character is described as underdog, orphan, diamond in the rough?
Luca's got a guess. Luca.
Aladdin.
Very good. Actually, it's even the name of the documentary, right? A Diamond in the Rough.
The design style of the film was inspired by what two elements?
Annika.
Said the flowing Arabic style and script and the Arabic architecture.
First, they looked at Arabic script, which had a lot of rounded edges and curves. And then they looked at Arabic architecture, which in a similar way didn't have a lot of flat edges and sharp corners. Most of the architecture was rounded, and they used that as a design style in the film.
So who provided Aladdin's speaking voice?
Gianfranco has a guess.
Scott Winger.
Scott Winger. All right, Annika, question.
Was he in Full House?
That is correct. He played DJ's boyfriend in Full House. Good job on that one. All right, this page is done. Thank you, part 2 team.
How many drawings per second are used in Aladdin?
Kira.
24.
Yeah, 24. That's a standard frame rate for professional animators.
Who animated the genie?
Who animated the genie?
Eric Goldberg.
Eric Goldberg. He's the same guy that said Aladdin was Disney's first buddy comedy, and he animated the genie, one of the buddies.
What artist influenced this animator?
I'm a huge fan of this artist, and I feel like he's the master of the line.
Al Hirschfeld.
Correct.
Who animated Jafar?
This was interesting because he said, I had actually just done the villain on the previous movie, and so they asked him to animate the villain once again. This kind of became his specialty. Henry, I saw you raise your hand. You want to go ahead and give a guess?
Andrea Deja.
Yes, very good. Andreas Deja.
What instrument is first heard on A Whole New World?
All right, let's have Sachi and Kira say the answer at the same time. All right, ready?
Piano.
Yeah, piano is correct. Nice job, you guys. I really enjoyed hearing all of your answers and also taking a few guesses in there. Say goodbye to the Whitby community. This will be the last time they join us to see the answers for any of our animation era trivia contests. Thank you once again.
See ya.